Welcome all. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss forms. What is a form? A form is a container that can hold other controls. A web form or an HTML form on a web page allows a user to enter data that is sent to a server for processing with the help of HTTP. A form will accept or take an input from the user. And these forms are used to create user interactive web pages. Not fully, yes, but partially. And these forms come under DHTML, that is Dynamic Hypertext Markup Language. In real, DHTML is nothing but HTML plus CSS plus JavaScript. I repeat, DHTML is a combination of Hypertext Markup Language plus cascading style sheets plus JavaScript. HTML forms are one of the most important part of every website. And these forms have variety of applications. Using these HTML forms, we can create login forms, sign-in forms, data entry forms, feedback forms, online application forms, inquiry forms, etc. etc. And a form can be created using a pet tag form with its closing form. This HTML form contains form elements, or we call it as form controls, or we can call it as form fields. Elements, controls or fields, all the three are same. And these elements, controls or fields are included between the form and the closing form. What are the form elements or the controls? They are nothing but the input elements like the text boxes, the radio buttons, check boxes, submit buttons, reset buttons, and many more. These form elements or fields are classified into two types: input fields and select fields. See, this slide talks about the different form tags or the form elements which are included or returned between the form and the closing form. Input, button, text area, select option, etc. And if you can recollect, in class 11th we have seen the input tag and the text area tag. Today we will be looking into the input tag as well the text area tag. We all know tags also have attributes. And what are attributes? Attributes are nothing but additional informations which we provide or give to a tag. Why? To make the web pages more and more attractive. And these are few attributes supported by the form elements. These are the attributes supported by the form fields, the form controls or the form elements. And we are going to learn each and every attribute in detail, taking different examples. I'll go to the next slide. This slide is talking about the input tag. We know the input tag has an attribute called as type. See, we have seen previously it has a type attribute, and this attribute, as we all know, attributes take in values. So the type attribute will have different values. It has various values. I've listed few of them. Text, if I write the input type is equal to text, it will create a text box. If I write input type is equal to radio, it will create a radio button, and so on. I'll not go into detail here. How do we write? We put it in this manner. Okay, I'll explain the same thing by using a practical example. So what I'm doing is, I'm not using simple notepad. You can use a notepad and check the output in the browser window. That is Internet Explorer, Mozilla, or wherever. By default, we use Internet Explorer. For now, I'm using Notepad++. And in Notepad++, see, I have typed a simple structure of HTML. To begin with, we mentioned doc type HTML followed by structure of HTML. This is the header section, head with the closing head, and I've given the title as HTML form. The header section is used to display the title, and this is called as the contents of the web page. Between the body and the body close, we include the contents of the web page. If we want to see the output of this, I have to first save this file. So I will, okay, I've saved it. I'll run it and I'll launch in Internet Explorer. You can see I've used the heading tag. So the output is online registration form in H1, in the highest size of, or the highest level of heading. Okay. To create a form tag, we need a paired tag called as form with its closing form. And all the other elements of the form are included in between the form and the form close. Okay. So what I am doing, I am creating a input element. If I want to enter my name, so I'll tell or I want the user to enter his or her name, I'll tell the user enter your name. Okay. And I'll write, how will I allow the user to enter the name? I'll create a text box. And to create a text box, I need an input tag with which attribute? Type is equal to which type of input I want to create. I want to create a text box, and to create a text box, I need to write here type is equal to text. Simple. This much I do, and I say save or Control S from the keyboard. I open the browser and refresh. Can you see? We have written enter your name. It is displayed as it is, and next to it we have a text box. I have given an enter and return, but here it is coming in the same line. Okay. Now let us see if I include this between the paragraph tag. See, I have included a p tag. I have included the text between the p tag. I save the changes what I have done and I refresh my browser window. What happened? The text box is brought, or it is pushed to a new line. Now why it is pushed to a new line? Because you must have observed in the heading tag as well as the p tag, I have not used anywhere here a break tag, but still the text is pushed to a new line because the heading tags and the paragraph tag, both of them are block level tags, and they consume the entire width of your browser window. I'll repeat, the heading tags and the p tag consume the entire width of your browser window. So the text next to it or the tags next to it are pushed to a new line. Okay, I hope you all are understanding. I've created a text box. I need to compulsory give it a name. So I've written name is equal to any name you can give, any unique name you can give. I'm giving here, I'll give first name. So I'll say F name. Okay. And I'll save again and check the output, refresh the output. No difference. It is as it is. Now, if you want this text box to be placed next to your enter your name, I'll remove the closing tag and I'll place it after the input tag. Now I'll save it again and I'll refresh it out. Can see? Now you can see the text box. The size of the text box by default is 20. By default the size is 20. I'll change the size of the text box to SIZE. I'll make it, suppose I'm putting it as 30. Control S and see I'm refreshing it out. The size of the text box has increased. Now in this text box, as a user, I can enter whatever I want. Here I am entering my name and see it is accepting any number of characters I enter. Now I want to limit the number of characters which I have entered over here. Okay. So what I do, I'll include the next attribute called as max length. And I'll say max length is equal to only 5 characters. Control S and again I will refresh. Now I'm trying to enter my name, but see it's not accepting the characters which I enter because here I have restricted the maximum length of the characters to 5. Okay. If you want, you can change it. This is how you create a simple text box. I hope you are clear with how to create a text box. There are many more attributes of the input tag We learn slowly. Now, if I add here, if I write here the next attribute called as placeholder, and I say whatever you want, you can write here. I'll say enter your full name. So this is enter your full name. So what have I done? This is an information given to the user. What should the user do? The user should use this text box to enter his or her full name. I will refresh the page and okay, I'm sorry, I have not saved it. Now I'll save and I'll refresh the page. Okay, it is not displaying, maybe because the size is Control S and refresh. Okay, it's not displaying. Let me check why is it not displaying. I hope at least till here you are clear with it. Okay. This particular video, I'll stop here. I'll stop here and I'll check why this placeholder is not getting displayed.